Prince Harry needs to moan alone, says CAROLE Malone. Will there ever be a day when Prince Harry opens his self-pitying mouth without moaning? Because since he married Meghan and quit Britain, that's all he seems to have done. He's moaned about the media persecuting his mum, he's moaned about the British people claiming we're racists. He's moaned about his father cutting off his money, and about the royal family in general claiming they too are racists. He's moaned about losing his police protection, his charities, his titles and his patronages. This week's Big Moan was about how he suffered from burnout in the past, from what? Partying, and he now has to find white space for himself each day to meditate. Unhappy Harry was speaking at an online event for coaching company BetterUp, where he spewed out a load of psychobabble about how he was being schooled by the universe and combating stress with inner work. Some real work might do him more good. This would be funny if it wasn't so tragic. Harry is one of the world's most pampered men who's never known a moment's financial hardship. In terms of intellect, the fact that he got AD in A-level geography and AB in art, and that's after one of his Eton teachers said she wrote part of his coursework, says it all. Yet now he's a personal coach telling other people how to live their lives despite having made such a mess of his own. Compare and contrast that to the Duchess of Cambridge this week. Just hours after taking over Harry's rugby league and union patronages, she pitched up at Twickenham, the home of England rugby, with a megawatt smile, and got stuck into a training session with players from both the men's and women's teams. Apart from the fact that she looked drop-dead gorgeous in England's official black tracksuit, she literally threw herself into the whole thing by making some passes, getting into a scrum and scoring a try. The players even lifted her up as she went to grab the ball in a line-out, and she laughed uproariously. How delighted those players must feel to be shot of misery. That's Harry, who's turned into the world's biggest wet blanket, and is so obsessed with his inner self that he doesn't give a toss about rugby, or in fact anything that isn't about him. With Kate as their patron, they'll get nothing but positive publicity and support. She'll draw attention to the game in the very best of ways. How long before she produces a book of her own photos celebrating them? Even this week she talked about how not only is her dad, Michael, a big rugby fan, but Will's and her own kids Princes George and Louis, who she described as kamikaze, and Princess Charlotte all play it at home in the garden. Now both Kate and Will's, who is patron of the Welsh Rugby Union, are expected to attend some of the games during the Six Nations tournament, and their competitive banter will make more positive headlines. And while Harry continues to bring nothing but hurt and shame to the royal family, Kate is now its single biggest asset. A few years ago she was derided as Wadey Katie, a wallflower who wore nice frocks, but didn't say much. Today she's the firm's beautiful, energetic figurehead, as stunning as any Hollywood star, and someone whose big heart, sense of duty and work ethic do her and Britain proud. And I'm not being dramatic when I say the future of the monarchy lies in her hands. She and Will's are a global draw in a way Charles and Camilla never can be, and they've filled the void left by Harry and Meghan so well we've forgotten they were ever there. So let Harry moan, meditate and keep trying to bring down the monarchy. We've got the dazzling Kate who'll lift it right back up again whilst simultaneously enchanting the world.